Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Rome series. This is episode 4 of season 1 and it is called Stealing from Saturn. First of all, before the last episode thing, full disclaimer. For the first 3 episodes, I literally thought Pompeii was a real place we were visiting in the show. I know, I'm an absolute idiot. I didn't want to disguise it. I wanted to hold my hands up and show my honest mistake in those first 3 episodes. I bet it was driving some of you guys insane. I can only apologise. Due to my ignorance and limited history of Rome, I heard the phrase Magnus of Pompeii or something similar, and I just assumed instantly that Pompeii was a real place in the show we were visiting and Magnus was from there. Every time we saw Magnus, I literally thought he was in Pompeii, and because of that, when we saw the woman with the bull blood, because she was saying to her son Augustus, take this horse to Caesar, for some reason I assumed she was in Pompeii and asking him to take the horse to Caesar in Rome. Again, completely ridiculous. I can only hold my hands up and apologise, but thank God one of my patrons clued me in. Literally sent me such a polite message going, oh, I'm assuming you figured out by now that Pompeii, they're just talking about Magnus and Magnus's followers within Rome, and I was like, no, I was not aware of that whatsoever, and just reacted to my 3rd episode today before I read this message, so I'm gonna look like a pretty dumb individual to the people who do watch my channel. But yes, I am clued in, and thank God, because things which didn't make sense before make way more sense to me now. There was certain things going on, I was like, why is he doing this, where's that going, and now it all makes sense. We have been in Rome the entire time. Magnus of Pompeii has a differing opinion to Caesar and has loyal followers within Rome. I get it all now. Bull Blood Woman was in Rome, Augustus was in Rome, Caesar was off fighting the Gauls. I get this shit, okay? I'm on track now, thank God. So yeah, with that embarrassment out of the way, let's talk about the last episode. We saw a real division come into the city of Rome when they heard that Caesar was on the march back to it. Instantly, 2 sides started to fight amongst one another. There was people leaving the city. That bull blood lady almost had her house barged into by the angry mob, and just shit was going crazy in the capital before Caesar had even arrived. He sent commanding officer and Titus Pullo, yes, I still don't know that fucking dude's name. This is the episode, right? Let's put a little fucking betting system on the go in the comments. Is this the episode? We will see if I learn his name this episode. Anyway, him and Titus Pullo went to the capital ahead, like sort of scouts to deliver Caesar's message. It was quite a fair message as well, by the way. He wasn't on like slaughtering innocents or anything like that. He just basically said be partial and you'll be cool. And that's all you can really ask of people, to keep the fuck out of your business. So I felt like it was quite a fair letter by Caesar. And there was such a fucked up subplot going on with Bull Blood Lady and her daughter. During all this mayhem, her daughter desperately just wanted to see her ex-husband again, which she did. But Bull Blood Lady had had enough of it and ordered those mercenaries to just go and shank him in the street. Absolutely horrific. And then on top of that, the body was brought to the house so the daughter could see it, and then on top of that, the mother barefaced lied to her daughter that she had nothing to do with it. And it's quite interesting that her daughter assumed that of her mother to begin with. It just shows how well she knows her mother, and obviously what her mother is capable of, if that thought even entered her head. And Caesar continues to march for Rome. He didn't make it. Now here's one thing I am still unsure about, even after all that Pompeii business is out of the way. Let's just forget about that Pompeii shit for a second. In fact, let me roast myself further. I was making jokes and everything, all confident. I was like, oh well, we know what happens to Pompeii in the end, thinking I was so fucking cool. Pompeii ain't even in the show, be you dick. You know when you just can't get over how much of a dumbass you yourself have been? But yeah, the one thing that I was still unsure about is there was gold being transported, and the men who were transporting it were soldiers, but they were undercover. Not sure if this was gold owned by Magnus being transported somewhere for troops, or what the money was going to be used for, who was sending it to where. Just didn't catch that, unfortunately, and this is one of the rare weeks I haven't had the opportunity to watch the last episode back yet. I have watched the first few, but that very last one I've yet to see back yet, so I'm just a bit unsure as to who that gold was from and to where it was going. But yeah, it was intercepted by Titus and some of the other soldiers, and they managed to scare off the soldiers quick enough, and there was a woman who was captured who I have no idea who she is. But then when no one else was around, Titus also checked the chests on the back of it, and they were just loaded with gold coins. And it looks like Titus is just thinking like, fuck it, fuck this war, fuck the army, this will make me a rich man, I'm gonna make a break for it. Or at least that appeared to be what he was doing at the end of the last episode, because he saw Caesar up ahead, and I thought he was Team Caesar, but when he noticed Caesar, he became even more covert as to the wagon and its contents, and hiding his own cloak. So yeah, I've got a feeling Titus Pullo's just going to try and make a break for it. And I also assume that is where the title of this episode comes from, because I think they said that Caesar was directly descended from fucking Venus or some shit. I don't know, there's probably someone who owns that gold is probably a direct descendant from Saturn going by this shit. So yeah, he has probably essentially stolen directly from Saturn, which is a bit disrespectful. Saturn has a lot on its plate, it's working very hard to get rid of that ring. It's shamed by the other planets enough, it doesn't need its gold stolen. But yeah, all joking aside and admittance of my own stupidity aside, I'm looking forward to this week's episode, so without further ado, let's get into it. This is episode 4, Stealing from Saturn. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. No, this is the best intro of all time. I'm only joking, it's not the best intro of all time. I just wanted my praise of the intro to have some plot progression from last week, and I didn't know where I could take it. I do really like this intro though. Here's actually a question for everybody in the comments. What are your favourite TV show intros of all time? I guess it's always got a lot to do with the music and visuals. It's always a combination of both. Some have great visuals but not really that memorable music. Some have great music but not really memorable visuals. What to you are your favourite show intros? For me, I can never get The Sopranos out of my head. It's so simple, just Tony driving over the bridge out to Jersey from New York. But that mixed with a song, there's just something incredibly memorable about it to me. I also love True Detective. Just the visuals are some of the most incredible ever in the intro of True Detective. And special shout out to The Mandalorian. That to me is the greatest theme song of all time. I love the Mandalorian theme. Someone's having a shit night. Imagine being one of the soldiers in those tents and just having to get to sleep to the sound of a dude getting tortured.
Your son Quintus. I did not know he was with us.
Arrived this morning from Brindisi.
Brutus said he was leaving Rome last episode. Does that mean Magnus is no longer in Rome also? And, of course, Brutus straight away goes and buddies up with Magnus.
Caesar does not have it, then his scouts must have kept it for themselves.
Go find these scouts.
I will.
Now!
Oh shit, Titus Pullo might be in trouble now.
Without the gold, Caesar will find Rome a little harder to subdue.
Without the gold.
So, now I'm confused again. He seems to think without the gold being delivered to the city that this is going to be disadvantageous to Caesar as well. Was this gold just for the common people or for the city itself? For resources for Rome?
Groups of more than 3 men shall not congregate in public spaces.
Fucking COVID.
Long live General Gaius Julius Caesar, Saviour of our Republic.
Well, the town crier's still ending his speech with a praising of Caesar, so he must still have the majority Rome vote. Otherwise there wouldn't be pro-Caesar propaganda going on in the streets still.
Maximus, Jupiter Optimus Maximus.
Has he arrived in Rome?
Jupiter Optimus Maximus.
I do not know what that is they're all repeating, but I'm assuming it means some Caesar has arrived shit.
You've entered the city under arms. I must warn you that seldom augurs well.
Okay, so Caesar is back in Rome. I didn't realise he'd arrived.
Auguries will be taken on the first clean morning.
And that was a very smart move by Caesar. I don't know what the dominant religion of this time is, but to have religion on your side is always a good play when you're in war. And the evidence of that is, like 99% of the wars ever are about religion.
This dinner tonight, Caesar asks, no shellfish.
Yeah, everyone should share at the dinner. I understand why Caesar would want people not... Okay. Nothing I say will make up for that Pompey shit, I know.
She is a species of statue.
What a way to describe a woman.
I'm juicing her yet. I'll not let that woman get between me and Caesar.
Why does Bullblood Lady want to get close to Caesar? Is she planning on being his new mistress or something?
He needs to keep Brutus as his symbolic friend. That's all.
The absolute snakery of it. It's just so ridiculous. Imagine having to take that stance. And I hope Caesar isn't playing along with that charade, because if he in any way knows where Brutus truly stands, he should just be like, fuck you, mate.
The goat testicles, Domina.
Not for me, fool, for Octavian. Eat them while they're warm, my dear. It puts oak in your penis.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, King Joffrey, eat the goat nuts.
When my mother's father was your age, there was not a slave girl safe. The men of the Julii are masculine men. Now do as I say.
Well, isn't that good parenting? Fucking eat the goat balls and go and fuck hookers. Not traditionally taught in households, but you know, this dude ended up having a month named after him, so maybe we all been missing out on some goat balls. How are you going to judge a man that has a month?
Did Mother have babies killed?
Of course not.
Ah, that's definitely a lie. He's a smart boy, and I think within seconds he figured out that his mother had had her ex-husband killed. I understand why he would keep that to himself, but fucking hell, she deserves to know that. He just doesn't want to see her kill their mum. So I'm always praising set design and shit like that. I have to know. I'm assuming a lot of this architecture was perhaps digitally enhanced, but if I'm wrong and they just found these locations, where the fuck did they film this? Because some of these buildings are absolutely epic. Did they build sets for this show? It wouldn't surprise me if they built a few at least. It is HBO. There's some set building motherfuckers.
Any time to throw a do, if you don't mind me saying.
I cannot start in business without a feast, can I?
I'm trying to say nothing until someone says his name.
Laughed at in the street.
Oh, fucking say his name. Don't put grapes in their mouth, let them say your name.
Lucius Varenus. His Honour Mark Antony orders your presence.
Was that Lucius Varenus? Okay. Boom. We've got you. We've fucking got you, Lucius. Trying to be some John Doe out here, making me miss every utterance of your name over 3 episodes. Lucius Varenus. And I know you don't like the name Lucius. It sounds like luscious, very feminine, not really the thing you would expect from a commanding officer in the Roman Empire. Is it? Lucius Varenus. Fucking luscious Venus, yeah. You sound like a stripper. No wonder you don't let people say your name. You probably walk around with a tray of grapes, just stuffing them in people's mouths the second they open it, in case they address you by your birthright, you feminine sounding fuck. Okay, Lucius Varenus, got it. I had to roast him to lock it in my head.
What wretched trade is it you intend to follow then, eh?
Imported goods from Gaul, slaves.
So he's just going to be like a trader. I suppose there's money in that. It's an interesting career change.
I need you, Varenus. Caesar needs you.
He is a very good soldier, and also I will say, he's not one of these people that seems happy about starting his new life. He seems very out of his own skin. He's clearly just built to be a soldier, whether he likes it or not.
You come back to the Legion. You should be inducted into the Evocati as a prefect.
Nice, little promotion offer? That's gotta be tempting. I don't know what rank that improves him to. Does that give him a front mohawk instead of a sideways mohawk? What's the mohawking system on his offered rank? Are we talking 1980s punk or weird anime mech samurai?
Good day, citizen.
Next time I see you, I may not be so kind.
Why did he say good day, citizen, when he left there? I thought that other dude was also a soldier. And why is that guy so furious he wants to leave the army? It's not like the fucking mafia. Surely after you've done a service, you will get a salute upon your exit.
Tell me what it is you're hiding and I can be more precise.
Don't tell the psychic lady anything. I don't believe in psychics. She just wants to levy information.
A male child. A baby.
So that is what I was worried about when she had the conversation with Lucius last episode. I was worried that because she stuttered over her words and he was like the past is the past, she didn't give him all the information she needed to fully clear her conscience. And as we've seen in this scene, now this is just a looming secret hanging over their relationship. She should have got it out in that one conversation, you know, one way or the other, at least they would have wiped the slate completely clean.
Done.
Is this her picking out her best wig for Caesar? Quite an interesting character, man. She seems absolutely devoted and loyal to Caesar. She's been waiting in Rome for him for 8 years, but she seems to, like, people seem to be second guessing her because she's an aging mistress.
8 years of leathery Gallic trollops. When did he last see a real lady?
How dare you call the Gaul leathery garlic trollops? See, she seems to definitely be second guessing herself, or at least, like, there's something in her. I'm detecting, like, a deep unhappiness with this character. Is she just that apprehensive about reuniting with Caesar, or is there something else making her unhappy? You know, aside from the fact her son is a deserting little shit, which would make anybody unhappy.
You must kill some rich men and take their money very soon, else the well will run dry.
That definitely was Caesar's gold then. I thought it was disrespectful to wear red because it's the sign of war, or is this just him representing that he is at war with Magnus of Pompeii?
Regal, but not excessively so.
Does Caesar also have a wife as well as a mistress? Was that one of his daughters? Don't know who that character was.
And mind now, when they do come, try to smile occasionally. And don't bark at them.
Yeah, she's given him really good advice just now. If he wants to actually become a civilian, the first thing he's going to learn to have to do is loosen the fuck up.
Thank you for coming, honest neighbour. I know it can't be easy on such a day.
Jesus Christ, that is some brooch that guy has on his toga. Looks like a UFO's landed on his shoulder.
This is my husband, Vanderpool here.
Vander, welcome. Honoured, Lucius Frenus. Thank you for the pig.
From the information we've seen over these last 2 episodes, I've got a horrible feeling the fact her son is not his is going to come back to him. I don't believe in psychics. I do not know if this show is going to portray psychics as being real, but if they portray them as I believe them to be, that psychic was simply getting that knowledge to use it as a bartering tool, and I've got a feeling that for the right amount she might give that information to somebody, or she might choose to use it just because the lady falls out with her or something like that. Basically, from this moment on, that psychic has got her in her back pocket, and she has to keep seeing her, otherwise that secret will come out.
Whatever misfortune befalls you, we're still friends, no?
This woman fittingly has gone for the Cruella de Vil look. She is certainly the most hateable woman in this show. I know it's disrespectful to compare Rome to Game of Thrones, because regardless of what came first, and I don't know time-wise what actually came first, but regardless of it, Game of Thrones is clearly based on things such as the true history of Rome anyway, so it's like art imitating life, imitating art, imitating life, blah 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 blah. But she is reminding me so much of Cersei Lannister, the way she conducts herself and her snakery. She was cussing out Brutus's mum in private. Soon as she sees her, she's like, "Oh, I insisted you come. I hate this bitch."
Revered uncle, welcome. Welcome home.
She is Caesar's niece. The whole time I was wondering who this woman was. No way, she's actually a member of Caesar's direct family. Well, that explains why she's so powerful, obviously. And it also makes me think, was that people who were siding with Magnus banging on her door? I assumed that was civilians who were siding with Caesar banging on her door because she was siding with Magnus. I didn't expect such a hateful bitch to be pro-Caesar.
Your son is not here with you.
He is ever your friend.
What an absolute coward. His mum had to say that to cover for him, but if Caesar only knew how much of a snake Brutus has already shown himself to be. Oh shit. I wonder how far Titus Pullo got with the gold. It's a heavy cart being pulled by slow oxen, so he couldn't have gone that far. Horse riders should be able to catch up with him, if they're going the right way.
Fine bit of plunder and rapine you made off them bloody Gauls, I bet. I'll not complain. Handy to have cash in these uncertain times.
That must have been one of the incentives of being a soldier in the Roman Empire when you go to war. It's like, yeah, it's kind of brutal, and also there's a chance of dying, but you get to keep what you find. I'm sure a lot of them came back from the war with a decent little amount of loot.
Plan to take over the trading space for an import business. Slaves, mostly. Slaves?
I've been trying not to focus on the elephant in the room, but I do not like the fact Lucius is so pro-slavery, and I know it's a different time, and you know, it was just how they did it in Rome, but man, human slavery is so fucked regardless of where or what time in human history it was in.
Oh, the barbarous innovations of our day. Barbarous. We might as well be Syrian.
Anyone that talks like that is a snaky little politicking fuck. Guy sounds like he lives in a volcano awaiting the arrival of James Bond.
Say something witty.
I have nothing such to say. You know I cannot talk small, mother.
Fair play, you know, he knows his limits. I know I've been jokingly calling him King Joffrey, but he's a completely different character who's very complex because he's obviously incredibly intelligent for his age. He does show brattiness and entitlement, which I guess comes from coming from a wealthy family. But yeah, deep down, he's a very smart person for his age, is what I've noticed from his character so far. And observant. He just does not suit civilian clothes. He looks completely out of sorts, not in a soldier uniform.
Time to take your wife home.
She doesn't want to go.
Let's make her go then, eh?
I forget her secret lover's face because we only saw him in one scene previously, but is it this guy? Has this guy shown up who is our secret lover?
My husband. Your husband is a blind fool. Jamie is a blind fool.
Fuck, this is dodgy. Sooner or later this is gonna come out. It might as well come out now. And they cut away. Wow. This show's great at hyping me up, you know.
Cecilia.
Tell me, how was Cecilia?
Well, fuck, that's how it is when you're the ruler of a nation. You meet a lot of people.
200,000.
That is a very generous and I may say appropriate gift.
Caesar's strategically buying a lot of loyalty just now. I don't know how powerful this guy is or what sort of sector of Rome Caesar will control by getting this guy in his favour, but 200,000 sounds like a fucking lot. I don't know what that levels out to today in our currency, but sounds like a shitload. Oh, pole guy snitched on Titus. Fucking pole carrying snitch. Didn't see you snitching on yourself for killing a tree when you made your pole that you carry.
Lucius Vorenus?
Who asks?
Yes, he is Lucius Vorenus. That's his name. Stripper name Luscious Venus.
Sense enough?
Not near. I ask again, what gold?
Stubborn, is it?
They're putting a sword to the wrong dude's neck. He's like the one dude that will not give a fuck.
I cannot speak what I do not know. I do not know of any gold.
You know very well.
I feel bad for him because he legit knows nothing about this.
We chased the soldiers and left the wagon.
Why so glum and gloomy?
Fucking 10 guesses who got the gold.
How exciting.
Do not test my patience, peasant.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Titus and Lucius's chances against these guys. Nice distraction, and he has the gold to throw some in the air. There we go, back in his natural habitat, slamming a face off a bench.
Ride like Zephyrus for the coast and get the first tide to Spain.
I'm trying to think.
Lucius is not going to agree to this.
Shouting and singing and broadcasting your theft to all and sundry.
It's true, that was a hilarious entrance. If anybody of note who knew Titus saw him being carried through the streets of Rome, they would certainly be asking some questions as to how he attained the finances necessary to be able to do such a thing.
Bring him Pompey's son as a sweetener, he might show mercy.
Give it back.
I knew Lucius was going to take this stance. I'm not going to lie, like, Titus has got a point. They're just grunts in an army. They could go and live their lives on a beach.
Near killed on your account.
He also makes a good point. They could have easily killed Lucius and his wife there just to get to Titus. If Titus hadn't showed up just at that moment, they probably would have killed him.
Good luck to you, sir.
And Titus is such a good guy, I genuinely think he's going to listen to Lucius and help return it. I don't know what Caesar's going to say, but you know, at least it's slightly more honest than keeping it all. He might say, you know, there's a little half chest missing, what can I say, fell off the back, but there's most of it. They're clearly having a right silent, bitchy competition amongst themselves, though.
Lucius Vorenus said I should come to you.
Easy, soldier. Who is this?
Quintus, son of Pompey.
It is a nice little sweetener bringing that hostage, though.
Where is the gold?
It's all safe, sir. I buried it.
Now, we'll still have to explain why a little bit of it's missing, but surely Caesar can't be mad. He'll probably give him another chest just as a reward. Not gonna lie, Roman parties looked fucking shit.
I have only deep respect for your father and his family.
Kiss my arse, you traitorous dog.
Let it be known Caesar took the high ground there.
If violence continues, it will not be my doing, but that of your father and his allies.
Surely this is a dumb decision. Caesar's just had a conversation with Titus about the location of buried gold and this guy's been listening. Don't let him go.
Such beauty. Too kind.
This is the most passive-aggressive shit I have ever seen.
She has none of the goatishness one normally sees in women her age.
Oh, I was wondering how long it was going to take for her to bring up the age.
When you find the trove, give him 100 gold pieces.
Thank you, sir.
He's probably spent about 20 times that already, but yeah, still, nice little reward. At least he left with his head intact and a little bag of gold.
You offer terms that Pompey cannot accept, but Cicero and the Senate can.
Swift.
So has he purposely put them in a position where the Senate will agree to the terms but Magnus won't, causing further separation amongst the other side?
It will pass in a moment. Please, Dominus, shut the door.
What the fuck is wrong with Caesar? Julius Caesar over here, what's brought this on? Is this something Caesar genuinely dealt with? I didn't realise he had some sort of ailment in his life. It looked pretty bad though. He's lucky he did that in private and not in front of his enemies.
I think we shall leave you.
Oh well. As you wish, of course.
She looks furious. She got no time to herself with Caesar.
I have urgent business with my marsupial clerks.
Business at night. It is not proper.
I thought his wife was cool with the fact he had a mistress, but she obviously does not like the idea just in case he's going to see a mistress. Fuck, that is so much gold. I thought it was all coins, but it's literally Fort Knox style bars in there as well. It just shows deep down what a noble dude Titus Pullo is, because he genuinely could have went away and probably lived the rest of his life in luxury, but he chose not to just because he'd endangered his friend and his friend's wife.
I'm all alone.
Can't lie, finding it quite enjoyable to see this evil bitch cry. Let them tears run. And Caesar was going to see his mistress. Damn, he was quick with the bullshit excuses, was our Caesar. And I'm happy for Brutus's mum. She genuinely seemed 100% devoted and loyal to Caesar, so it's kinda cool that he still came back and instantly got with her. Even though he's married and it's obviously a bit fucked up, but yeah. At least his mistress genuinely loves him and seems incredibly loyal.
He offers a truce. On what terms?
Truce with that scum. Are you women?
Let's hear his truce terms.
I'm lawful consul of Rome. He is a criminal. There is nothing mutual in it.
He may be a criminal, but he has the city.
This conversation is as anticipated. Literally designed so these guys can't accept, but the Senate do.
Do you not see his stratagem? He is trying to drive a wedge between us.
100%. And it's a good stratagem. I'm going to start using that word instead of strategy. It sounds cooler.
Tell me you love him. Tell me that. And I will go away and I will never come back.
On top of people starting to know about the daughter, this guy is fucking showing up all the time. He's going to get them caught.
They let you go alive then?
They did. Where's Berinus?
Oh shit, how much of that conversation did Titus hear? This show is so good at writing short story arcs which keep my interest so much. There's things I want to find out right now. I don't know how long they're going to stretch them out for, but they're doing such a good job. Every episode so far has captured my attention, especially the shit in Pompeii.
The auguries are good.
Okay, so he has bought off the church and the birds are flying. That has got to be a huge W for Caesar. This whole episode we've showed how smart he is, because he straight away came back to Rome, came across as the peaceful guy taking the high ground while strategically getting powerful allegiances within the city through money. Okay, and that was episode 4 of Rome, Stealing from Saturn, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Stealing from Saturn, what did I think of that? Man, first of all, at this point I already have to tip my hat to the writing on this show. These first 3 episodes have had short-term story arcs, long-term story arcs, and every single one of them is just keeping me glued to the screen. It is written so well, and I'm finding everything that's going on Every single set of characters we shift to, I'm invested in their stories. That's an absolute testament to high writing quality. There's nothing that's like snippable or throwaway. Everything seems relevant and interesting, and it's been consistent like that for 4 episodes now, so I just have to say the writing is noticeably incredible in this show. And I loved this episode. Lucius was trying to get out of his soldier armour and wear his regular citizen clothes, talking about his dreams and hoping to open this trading facility for slaves and goods, etc. But he looked out of place the entire episode. It did not fit him. Now that's not to say a man can't change and he could get accustomed to it, but he definitely looks like a fish out of water trying to play the regular citizen role this episode. And obviously it didn't last long either, because as soon as those guys showed up and Titus showed up, he straight away went back into soldier mode, and him and Titus fucked those guys up in a hurry. And I was so worried about this baby thing. Like I said it at the time, they had that deep conversation. Why doesn't she just utter that extra sentence to get it all out there? But she's kept it to herself, and now this just hangs over this relationship, waiting to explode like a time bomb. It almost did this episode during that outside feast they were having when that woman was drunk and getting irrational to her husband and was threatening to tell the truth. And it seems like sooner rather than later shit is going to hit the fan with that, especially now that Titus has walked in on the two of them having a private conversation in her house while Lucius wasn't there. And I think so far, after 4 episodes, Titus Pullo is my favourite character in the show, Rome. I absolutely loved everything he did this episode. From showing up in the streets being carried and then walking in the most pimped out toga. You know, just putting a little siren above his head that it was him who stole the gold for anybody who was curious. And then from there, fighting their way out of that situation. But the coolest thing was, as soon as Lucius said, "You've endangered me and my wife's life," I knew Titus Pullo, 4 episodes in, was deep down a man of honour. Yeah, he's a lug and a brute and a goon, and you know, he doesn't think on the deepest terms when it comes to life, but he definitely has a heart of gold. And as soon as Lucius brought that up, he straight away went to Caesar and confessed, and I fucking knew he was going to do the right thing, and it was cool to see that character do the right thing. So 4 episodes in, I absolutely love the character of Titus Pullo. He is a fearless, loyal, hard soldier with a heart of gold, and that is a dope character. The other thing we focused on was the unhappiness that Brutus's mum had, like the whole time worrying about Caesar. Going to that party, she still didn't look happy, and the first time she smiled even slightly was when Caesar caught her eye. And then later on, when she was alone in the room with Caesar, she smiled again. I don't know if she's just like in a constant state of deep unhappiness unless she's with Caesar, and that's just how much she adores him, or something else is making her miserable in life. But yeah, she seems like an incredibly unhappy woman unless she's in Caesar's company, thus far at least. And it was great to see Bull Blood Lady crying her little eyes out because Caesar's mistress got some attention at her party and Caesar never gave her the time of day, even though she's his niece. I absolutely hate her character. Great to see her cry. I'm sure she's going to do a lot more bitchy shit throughout this show, so I'll take this little victory, cry it up. And the most impressive thing for me this episode was just observing Caesar maneuver after he arrived back in Rome. The way he instantly knew he had to get political allegiances in the city. He both wooed and then bought off the church, while simultaneously sending a set of truce demands, which makes him look like a peacekeeper, over to Magnus that he knew Magnus would not be able to accept, but the Senate would want to accept, thus further dividing their side. It was just genius play after genius play by Caesar this entire episode, and it certainly shows you why he was such a dominant leader and ruler, even in these small steps he's taken thus far in his battle with Magnus. And yeah, Julius Caesar, I don't know if he genuinely suffered from these things in real life or if it's an additional layer of drama they've just added for the show, but that shit looked brutal, and at least it was in private, like I said, and not in front of his enemies. Hopefully at some point this weakness isn't exposed in public, because as they said, it's seen as being cursed by Apollo. So if in public that happens to him, the people will stop following him because they'll believe that Apollo has cursed him. And as you can tell, I'm invested in every single part of this show so far, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with. with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.